everybody, welcome to Wild Boy Movies, the place to talk movies, and today we're going to be reviewing The Wild Robot, what might possibly be the best DreamWorks movie according to critics. Right now I'm going to have some information up on screen for you to read, like director, runtime, and PAA rating. All of that will be up on screen for you to read right now. But be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your thoughts on The Wild Robot. But without further ado, let's get right into the pros. Alright, starting off, I'm like a fan of the series. It's a series that I had to read back in 5th grade, and I quite enjoyed the books. So when DreamWorks went ahead and announced that they would be making a movie adaptation, it immediately shot out to be one of my most anticipated movies of the year. And I was hoping that DreamWorks would not mess this up, and thankfully they didn't. This is a very good movie that I highly recommend that you guys watch. Like, they do so much right with this Wild Robot movie that definitely makes this one of the best DreamWorks movies that I've ever seen. And I agree with the critics saying that this is one of the best animated movies of the year. But getting into the pros, I really like the main trio of cast members in this movie, Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, and Kit Connor. I thought Lupita Nyong'o did a great job as the character of Roz, who's essentially this robot stranded on this island having to raise this little gooseling. I thought she did such a great job as that character, not only with that version of Roz that we see in the movie, as you can see on this bucket and the cup, but as the overall voice of the Roz units that we see in this movie. I thought she did such a great job as the character of Roz in the movie, and really liked that character overall. Kit Connor also did a great job as Bright Bill. I really like that character, and he's essentially like this outcast of the Gooseling community, and I really liked his character and how he really sees this robot as his mother. But the best one of the main 3 cast members is Pedro Pascal as Fink. Like, I thought this Fox character was such a great character in this movie that I really liked his character, and it has me excited to see how he plays Reed Richards in the new Fantastic Four movie. Like, I thought Pedro Pascal did such a great job as this Fox character who helps Roz raise this gooseling, and that was just done very, very well in the movie, and that could be credited towards Pedro Pascal's voice acting. I also gotta go ahead and praise the animation in this movie, because visually, this has gotta be like one of the best DreamWorks movies we've gotten in terms of like the animation. Like, it's very expressive. Like, we've seen the trailers for this movie, and that animation looks 10 times cooler on the big screen. It's colorful, it's expressive, it's vibrant, it's everything you wanted out of this DreamWorks movie from what you've seen in the trailers, and it definitely delivers on like various awesome shots that you see in this movie. Like, there are some amazing sequences in terms of how they look in the movie that look so cool in the theater that it definitely made this movie for me, and very much an enjoyable movie. I also love how they took certain elements from the book but made their own story. Like, that is what I love about DreamWorks. Like, they could take like a book that already existed and take certain elements from that book and make a whole new story. We saw that with the Captain Underpants movie and The Bad Guys, and The Wild Robot is another great example of that. Like, I love it when movies are adapted from books and they don't directly copy what happened in the book into the movies. I love how this movie went ahead and told its own story. I love how this movie didn't just take the book and turn it into a movie, like a shot-by-shot film version of the book. If it was just that exact same story that we got in that book, like shot by shot, the exact same book that we got, but turned into a movie, it kind of would have been like a bit disappointing, but they didn't, and I respect DreamWorks for that. But getting on to like my biggest pro of this movie is the story. Like, they take like such a mature route with the story of Ross becoming this mother, and I say mature, but I'm not talking about full on like R-rated material. This is still very much family friendly. What I mean by that is that they tackle a bit more serious subject matter. Like Bright Bill in this movie is described to be a runt, which means that if Roz is not there to help this goose, he would not be able to make it out in the wild, essentially being like this story of a mother raising a child with a disability. That very much worked in the movie. Like, that was such a very good story that they went ahead and told in this movie that make me think that it is gonna be worthy enough to win the Best Animated Feature at the Oscars next year. But essentially, this movie, by the core of it, is a story of motherhood and raising a child and making things up as you go. That's the thing with the Wild Robot. Ross thinks there's a certain task in programming towards raising Bright Bill. As the story progresses, she learns that there are some things with raising a child that you have to make up as you go, and that is very much told in this movie. Like, in terms of all the DreamWorks movies that we've gotten and their plots and stories, this is the best story that we've gotten from a DreamWorks movie. And like, the story was just handled so well that just makes this one of the best DreamWorks movies that we've ever gotten, and like probably one of the best animated movies that I've seen this year. The only other rival is Inside Out 2, but generally, The Wild Robot is such a great movie, and the story very much elevates that to a level to where this was such an amazing movie. So yeah, with that being said, I really couldn't think of any cons for the movie. Like, this is such an amazing movie that you guys gotta go ahead and check this one out. And this experience of seeing it in theaters for me was made special because this was my birthday movie of 2024. But genuinely, as a movie, this was such an amazing, well done movie that I seriously do think that it does have a shot at winning the Best Animated Feature at the Oscars, and it most definitely deserves to win that title. So for my scorecard, I'm gonna give The Wild Robot 4.5 stars, with the score out of 10 being 9.6 out of 10, with the percentage being 96%, with a grade of A, with my final verdict being one of the best animated movies of 2024. But that was my review of The Wild Robot. I want to hear from you guys. What did you guys think about this latest DreamWorks movie? Go ahead and leave your thoughts down in the comments section. And while you're at it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. And have a great day.